Hello everybody, my name is Alexa Rubin and I educated my children with a story. Every night I told them a story when they went to bed, so they have nice dreams and they have a nice next day. So and if you like, you can share my videos because there are lots of children that nobody tells them a little good night story. It's very good for the fantasy if you just make your own imagination and your own pictures in the head, especially before going to sleep. So as I did it with my children, I just invent in this second. So sometimes if I don't know so much the words or whatever, then you know it's original, made by this in this second. So of course you can subscribe and send me a little comment. I would be very happy. But now I want to start with a story. So the story today is from a princess. The princess, she liked very much to be in her room. She had a very nice castle with very nice friendly parents. The king and the queen, they just had the princess. And they spoiled her with everything. So what she liked the most, she liked the most to sit next to her mirror in the window, singing and combing her hair with a golden brush. So as she was sitting there and singing, there was a little bird looking at her all the time. And the bird was so happy to see this pretty princess. He was always sitting there on his favorite trick and looking at the princess. And all the melodies the princess invented, the little bird copied. And so sometimes they were singing even together, but the princess never realized. The other birds were a little bit jealous because they saw him always sitting next to the princess, copying the songs. And so he had special songs which no bird could sing. Only the little bird. And the bird liked so much to be with the princess and not with the other birds, that the other birds were always laughing and saying, "You are crazy, you are stupid, you are not a normal bird. You always like to be with this princess, but you cannot be with her. She will have one day a prince, and then she will not even listen to you anymore." But the little bird didn't care. So one day there was a big party for the princess because she had to find a prince. So the king invited all over the country all the nicest princes. But also there was a magician. He was very old, but he wanted to marry the princess. And he came with his 4 black horses, and he went out of the how you say it? This thing where you drive with this horse. I don't know. He went out, and there was a big party. Everybody was dancing. And everybody was happy. But the little bird was sitting next to the princess. And then he was not afraid anymore. He was flying on her knee. And he was singing all the songs what she was always singing. And the little princess, she said like, "Oh, little bird, I would like that you would be a prince. Then I would marry you. Because all these men here I don't like." And then she saw the magician. She said, "This one is so old. It is horrible. I could never marry such an old magician." But he came to her, put her hand on the shoulder and said, "Little princess, if you would marry me, I would put all your wishes I would make come true." But the princess said, No. I don't want. Rather, I would marry a bird than you." And this magician went very angry. The little bird flew up and he followed him with his eyes, and he put a lightning there, and the little bird fell down. The princess was crying very much, and she said, like, "What did you do? You killed my little bird. It was this what I liked so much." And crying, she went in the castle. The bird was there, like dead on the floor. And the magician said, "Little bird, if you stop singing for 1 year and you are not flying with the other birds in the south to get warm in the winter, in 1 year I will give you your wish what you want." But the little bird knew when he would not fly in the south in the winter, he would die. And if he could not sing, the princess would not like her anymore. But because he wanted so much to be with the princess, that he agreed. From this second on, he could not sing anymore. As hard he would try, he could not sing any melody anymore. He was sitting now always on the shoulder from the princess when she was going out riding with her beautiful white horse in the forest. And she was looking always to the little bird and saying, "Why don't you sing anymore, little bird?" But the bird could not answer. But so it went cold and the winter came slowly. The snowflakes went down from the clouds, and the earth went white under a white coat. The little bird was in front of the window of the princess and was shaking because it was so cold. All his friends, they were already gone in the south, and he was very alone and lost there in the forest. But then the princess opened the window. She built him a little nest, and in the night she always took him in the room and gave him a little food to eat and a little bit water to drink. Although she was very sad that he was not singing anymore, she was always caring for him. And when the next year came and the big party was done again by her father and her mother, that they wanted a prince for her, they invited everybody. And also the big magician came. He went out. He went down from his horses and he came in the garden directly to the princess. And he was putting the hand on the shoulder again from the princess, and he said, "Did you think it over? Do you want to marry me?" Then the princess said, "No, I rather would be married with this little bird than with you. You are so old." And then the magician said, "Man, it cannot be." And he started swearing and very bad with a very loud voice. But then he remembered that the little bird has a wish. But because he said he was so angry, he was invisible, going in a dust cloud and disappearing. But because he said "man," the little bird fell down from the knees from the princess, and all the feathers went out. He was totally naked. And then the wings were growing bigger and bigger, and all the bird was growing bigger and bigger. And then in front of her suddenly was standing a beautiful prince. She was so astonished that she could not speak. And because he did not know what to do, he was starting to sing her songs. And she was so happy that he was hugging the prince, and she said to the parents, which appeared now, she said, "Now I found my prince. I want to marry him." And these two, they were so happy all their life long, and they were doing out riding and singing all the songs, and they stayed together all their life, forever and happy. So, little children, this was the fairy tale from today. If you like, you can subscribe and you can give it to other children, and you can send me something little text under the fairy tale. And you know, when you make your own imaginations of stories, it's very healthy and very good for your brain, because then you can act in other situations also good, because you have a good fantasy, and it's very important, especially for children. Also in the night, you cannot fight. You just have to hear something nice and then go in bed. Then you dream something nice, and then you will have a next day very, very nice. So I give you a big kiss and a hug. Your Alexa Rubin. Bye bye.